It's funny. Have you ever stopped to think about how much power one tiny two-letter word can have? That word is if. It's kind of like a key that unlocks whole new possibilities, states undeniable facts, and helps us talk about the future, one sentence at a time. So for the next few minutes, let's find that key and crack the if code together.
All right, let's jump right in with a little puzzle. How would you finish this sentence? If it rains tomorrow, we blank at home. Go ahead, fill in that blank in your head. Whatever answer just popped in there, hang on to it, because we're about to figure out the rule that proves whether you nailed it.
So here's our game plan. Think of it like we're building a grammar toolkit, piece by piece. We'll kick things off with absolute truths. Then we'll get into probable futures. After that, we'll add some new words that act a lot like if. We'll figure out how to master time. And finally, we'll uncover one single golden rule that ties this whole thing together. Okay, first tool for the box. Rule number 1 is what we call the zero conditional. You can think of this as the foundation for our entire toolkit. It's all about things that are absolute, undeniable truths. So what is the zero conditional? Well, it's super straightforward. It's for stuff that's always, always true. We're talking scientific facts, general truths, things that are 100% certain. And the structure is just as simple. If you do this thing happens. Present simple and present simple. It's a direct link. Here's a perfect example you probably learned in science class. If you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. See that? There's no will boil or might boil. It just boils. One action always and forever follows the other. It's a fact. That's the zero conditional in a nutshell. Want a little cheat code for spotting these? Just try swapping out if for the word when. If the sentence still makes perfect sense, you found one. When you heat water to 100 degrees, it boils. Yep, works perfectly. It's a great little clue that you're dealing with an absolute truth. All right, our foundation is solid. Now we can start building on top of it. We're going to move away from those 100% certainties and into the world of what's probably going to happen. This is the first conditional, and this is where the future comes in. And here's the big change. We're not talking about things that are always true anymore. We're talking about things that are likely or possible. And the grammar actually shows us this. The if part still uses the present simple, but the result? Bam! We add the word will. That will is your signal that we're talking about a probable future. Think about this one. If he studies hard, he will pass the exam. Now, is it 100% scientific fact that he's going to pass? Of course not. But it's super likely, right? It's the probable outcome of him studying hard. And that's exactly what the first conditional is all about. Okay, let's put these two head to head. It really clears things up. The zero conditional is for facts. What is? It's certain. The first conditional is for possibilities. What will likely be? It's probable. The grammar just follows that logic. Present and present for the facts, and present and will for the possibilities. So if is great, we've got that down. But, sometimes you want to be a little more specific, a little more nuanced. So let's add a couple more specialized tools to our kit that set up conditions with a little extra flavor. First up is unless. The easiest way to think about this one, it just means if not. So, we won't go on a picnic unless the weather improves, is just a shorter, sharper way of saying we won't go on a picnic if the weather does not improve. It zeroes in on the one thing that has to change. And then we've got this pair as long as and provided that. Seriously, they're like twins. They both mean on the condition that, and they really emphasize one specific requirement that has to be met. You can borrow my car as long as you return it tomorrow. The condition couldn't be clearer. Okay, get ready. This next part is where everything we've talked about really clicks into place. We're about to find the master key that unlocks not just if sentences, but a whole family of sentences about time. This is the big one, folks. Words we use constantly. When, as soon as, before, after, while, until, that whole crew. Turns out, they've all been secretly playing by the exact same powerful rule this whole time. All right, pop quiz time. Listen closely to this sentence and tell me what sounds a little off. Ready? When he will get the good news, he will call his parents. That first part, it just feels a bit clunky, doesn't it? Can you put your finger on the mistake? You got it. The right way to say it is, when he gets the good news, he will call his parents. We just drop that first well. Now, the reason why we do that, well, that brings us to our final and most important tool in the kit.
Okay, seriously, if you zone out for everything else, zone in for this. If you only remember one thing from our entire chat today, make it this. This is the single biggest takeaway. We call it the golden rule. And here it is. The golden rule is, in a clause that starts with the time word, like if, when, or as soon as, you have to use the present tense, even if you're talking about the future. I know, it feels a little weird, right? You're talking about the future, but using the present. But trust me, embracing that little contradiction is the absolute secret to getting this right every single time.
So how do you actually use this? It's a simple 3-step mental checklist. First, spot that special clause, the part starting with if, when, unless. You get the idea. Second, ask yourself, is this action talking about the future? And third, if the answer is yes, just make sure that verb is in the present simple. That's it. That's the whole game.
And just like that, you've cracked the code. You've got the whole toolkit for conditionals and time clauses, all held together by that one golden rule. So I have a little challenge for you. Now that you're in on the secret, how many times are you going to notice it today? In conversations, in a show you're watching, maybe in a book? I promise, now that you know what to listen for, you're going to hear it absolutely everywhere.